Hey, you're jacked in to Buffy's Angels, and I am fucking jacked in too today because I'm excited to hear what our noob has to say about these two episodes. All right, I'm Daniel Ironberg. I'm so excited. Uh, we're talking about Hush today, pretty much universally accepted as a top 5 to 10 Buffy episode. And then we've also got Parting Glances, uh, or excuse me, Parting Gifts.
I was
I
about to
keep,
say.
yeah, I keep doing that because that Steve Buscemi film. But Parting Gifts is a Buffy an Angel episode. God damn it! Introducing Wesley Wyndham Price to the cast. Let's bring in the man who's gonna give his little forming opinions about all these things. Here he is, Logan Adair. What's up?
Okay, that was weird. You didn't put the B in there. That I feel like you don't do that ever. By the way, these are big opinions, no little opinions over here. But we're back. Buffy like showing us why it's the best show on television right now
That
in
right now,
2023. Buffy the
yeah.
Vampire Slayer. But no, seriously, we're back. Like you nailed it. I was like, we haven't been to the initiative, we haven't gotten back to there, but I don't want to give too much away. But
Oh, we are, I think, in a very good place for both shows after this
yeah,
episode.
not just Buffy, but I think a great Angel episode too.
Yeah, let's get into it. Uh, I mean, let's just talk about Hush. So this aired December 14th, 1999. They took like a week off after what was the previous episode? Something Blue.
Mhm.
And then they came back. Joss Whedon, he's our writer director. The number one song in America, Logan, you'll never guess what it is.
Smooth by Santana.
It is Smooth by
Wow.
Santana, featuring Rob Thomas, of course.
Hmm.
Um, sad news in the world of entertainment, Logan.
Okay. So my dad.
No, James Cameron and Linda Hamilton have divorced
Oh
after
no.
2 years of marriage. All right. Now, 2 years of marriage. I never realized this until the research for this show. But that means they got married in 1997.
Right.
All right. Now, famously, the reason they got divorced is James Cameron cheated on
Bigelow.
Linda. No,
Oh,
Bigelow's pre Hamilton.
really?
James Cameron had been married to Catherine Bigelow. All
I
right.
thought
They
Bigelow
were
was right after Hamilton.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bigelow. They were married for years, and then he cheated on her with Linda Hamilton. All
Okay.
right, and so they broke up, got together with Linda Hamilton. They got married in '97, divorced right here this week that Hush aired. All right, and it's because he cheated on her with the lady who was like the old lady's granddaughter in Titanic.
Really?
Yeah, and he's still married to that lady today.
Well, that's good.
Um, no, very nice. But that would mean like Titanic came out in 1997. So what did he cheat on Linda Hamilton like on their wedding day?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he just kept that number in the back pocket until 99, and then he was like, I'm feeling a little lonely.
I think this motherfucker was getting blowies at his wedding from another lady
At the wedding?
at the wedding.
Maybe around that time. I don't think the wedding day.
I don't know, man.
Has anyone ever cheated on their wedding day?
I once had sex with a woman 2 days after her wedding.
Really?
Yeah,
Did she say why? Like so soon she was already cheating?
I mean, we were already hooking up, and then she had to go get married, and then like I saw
So
her a
the
couple
wedding
days
interfered
later.
with you guys,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, kind of.
That's that's fascinating.
Yeah, I didn't go to the wedding.
You should have.
I know. I would have loved to. I heard stories about it. Um. Anyway, so the number one movie in America is still Toy Story 2. Logan.
Hmm.
after a month being out. But debuting at number 2 is The Green Mile, the long-awaited follow-up to the Shawshank Redemption. Everyone was so excited for it. All right. And then Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo debuting at number 3.
All right.
What a film that
And
was.
we were
And
like,
then
give us a second one.
yeah, put him in Europe. Make the cover of it.
Bring in
His
Oded
dick.
Fair.
Yeah, make his dick look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Um And then Cider House Rules also debuted that week outside the top 10 on the indie charts. And of course, that went on to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor and maybe Adapted Screenplay as well. I don't remember.
Wow.
Um, WWE, baby. They've got a pay per view, Armageddon. Now, the main event of Armageddon, of course, was Triple H versus Vince McMahon. All right. Now the winner of that match, there were stipulations involved in that match, Logan.
Okay.
If Triple H won, then he got a title opportunity, okay, against the current world champion, the Big Show. All right. But if Vince McMahon won that match, then Triple H would get an annulment.
Oh yeah, I figured it had
And
something to do with Stephanie.
yeah, break up with his daughter.
So Triple H
Of
won.
Triple H won. He got a title shot. Not only that, but then on the following day's Raw, Stephanie reveals that she's with Triple H now in spirit, and does little suck it crotch chops to her dad.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Crotch chops, that's what they're called.
yeah, that's what they're called technically.
Okay.
Hmm. So that's but the big event of that night was the evening. Okay, so the women's championship. All right, you familiar with the women's championship, Logan?
I only know them as divas, but yeah, I guess so.
Well, they're women now. They're real women. They headlined WrestleMania one year. Becky
What?
Lynch
That's
and
crazy.
Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, all them. But back in 1999, the women's championship was being decided by an evening gown pool match. All right, and that's where all the
Like
women
billiards, or you mean like swimming?
swimming,
Oh, okay.
all the women in the WWE, they all got dressed in evening gowns and got into a big pool, and then they wrestled in there, Logan.
How
All
do you
right, and
determine a winner in a pool?
the winner, I think, is the one who was able to keep her clothes on.
Okay.
All right, but then so lucky were we, the viewing audience, Logan, that the winner turned out to be Miss Kitty, who was a wrestler at the time, and she uh popped her top off anyway. She
Oh
won the match,
wow.
and then she was like, "Here's my boobs," and
That's
real
awesome.
boobs.
Oh, real boobs, okay.
We got to see the boobs, and then she went and fucked Jerry Lawler in real life.
In real life. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I
So
don't
how
know
about
Miss
that?
Kitty or whatever.
Well, she's famous for exactly one thing:
Two things.
showing her boobs on this pay per view.
Right.
Two things, Jesus. Let's get into Hush. Logan.
Should we do the rest of the episode silent?
I don't think that's a good idea for a podcast.
That'd be funny.
Man, we'd really upend the way people create podcasts.
Let's just do 10 minutes of silence and then we'll do our star ratings, MVP,
Revolutionary.
LVP,
Yeah.
and rank the episode. By the way, guys, I've been saying I was gonna rank the episodes at the end of the season. I went ahead and did it. Went ahead and re-ranked some episodes.
Wow. I'm so excited. Can you read them all at the end?
Do you really want me to do that?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
All right, Hush. Ready? Who directed it? Who
Yes.
wrote it?
Joss Whedon wrote and directed it.
Okay, there we go. Well, shout out to him. He crushed it yet again. All right, we ready?
I'm so ready.
I want to say, first of all, I think this might be the scariest episode of Buffy so far. What do you think about
I
that?
I think it is.
Wow. But I also think it's very, very funny. It was like the perfect balance of everything in this episode.
Yeah, funny, moving, scary.
Yeah,
Great monster of the week, but great advancement of the ongoing storylines.
absolutely. Forwarded basically everybody, I feel like.
Yep.
Not much Xander and Anya. They're just sort of still having sex, but we get
What
a
do you
lot
mean? They had some emotional advancement when
when
Xander
he saved
tried
her.
to save her. Yeah.
Okay. But that was just immediately back to them having sex, I felt like.
Yeah, but also I think the moment they kiss is like the first time Xander realizes like he really cares about her.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, I agree. But all right, so we start out in Professor Walsh's class, right?
That's
Buffy has a
correct.
dream. And well, it starts out Walsh is talking about communication, which of course comes into the rest of the episode. But so she pulls Buffy up to do like a class presentation, but the class presentation was just like she and Riley kissed each other.
Yeah, she like laid down on the desk,
Weird
Riley.
presentation, Walsh,
Yeah,
but all right.
but it's a
Uh,
dream, so don't blame Walsh.
I guess so. That's fair enough.
Blame Buffy's subconscious.
Yeah, well, I won't do that. She says petroleum. That was pretty funny at one point. That was good. Um, she
Oh
keeps
yeah, because Riley asks her what she's doing tonight. She says patrolling. Yeah, there's some weird communication here between them already. Like they're lying to each other. Buffy changes a word around. Riley says he's grading test papers, and Buffy cottons on to the fact that there would be no tests for him to grade.
right, and
Yeah,
she keeps talking to Willow later on, like how like they probably would have kissed each other by now, but they just keep talking. Like the talking keeps getting in the way. So then later on, when they can't talk anymore, all there's left to do is kiss each other. So all this setting up stuff I really liked. So
yeah,
there we go there. We go to Giles' house, right? Xander and Anya show up, and Giles tells Xander something. He says, "Hey, remember that girl Olivia? That I don't know if Xander met Olivia, but we met Olivia, and Olivia's coming back to stay the night, so that'll be very fun. And Spike is gonna stay with Xander.
right. We last saw Olivia in the season 4 premiere,
That's what I thought.
which was also written and directed by Joss Whedon.
He hasn't been back since then. Has he fucked
Um,
Olivia? You think?
that's a good question,
By
and
the
I would
way,
say possibly.
you have to tell me something because Tim brought it up when he was on. Anya a Joss victim or is
I
Anya just a good actor?
I think Anya's just a good actor, to be honest. Like she had too many opportunities outside of Buffy to just be like a Joss Whedon person.
Right. I
I
just know her
mean,
from Darkness Falls.
it is sort of odd that look, I understand what he's saying because she was introduced as sort of like a random one-off character, and then she was brought back in an episode that Joss Whedon wrote and directed.
Oh.
So that
But at
lends,
the end of that first episode, wasn't she good again?
yeah, but I think like if you never saw her again, it wouldn't have mattered that much.
I guess not. But if I was thinking back to like people that were in one episode, I feel like she would have stood out as somebody who should have been brought back, probably.
Yeah, but Clea Duvall was brought in as an invisible girl, and then there was
Oh yeah.
sort of a cliffhanger with her, and then she was never brought back. Is that because she is a lesbian in real life, so therefore would not fuck Joss Whedon?
I, that's a good question. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. That's interesting. But all right, yeah. So Spike's gonna go hang out with Xander's house. Anya says his orgasm friend, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yes.
So we'll catch up with Willow. Remember that episode where Willow talked about joining that witch club? Well, now she seems to be in it. We get all these people, but they're like they don't really believe in witchcraft. They're just like doing it for funsies. But except this one girl, her name's Tara. We learned Tara seems like a real witch, and later she is.
Yeah, she does imply to Willow that her mom was a witch.
Right. I had the question: is she the sister of Amy possibly? Because Amy's mom was a witch.
Yeah, and Amy's mom is the only witch in the Buffy universe.
Well, it was a question I had, so I guess not. I guess you're making fun of me. All right, so there we go. There's Witch Club. Do we learn any other witches' names? Those other people? I feel like no.
We did, but they're not important. Tara is the one to remember.
All right. So there's
I
Tara.
think
Was she
one
a
of them is
famous actor?
Cheryl. I want to say one of them Cheryl, but whatever.
Hmm.
Was Tara a famous actor? No, actually. And Whedon passed over her when she first auditioned. Marty Noxon was a fan of her audition and made Joss Whedon sit through a second audition.
That's cool.
And she was apparently so good in that audition that Joss Whedon reworked the character around her.
What if Marty was fucking this one?
Could be, man. But Marty's in this episode.
No way. Who is
Yeah.
she? Where?
There's like this one random shot like outside of like Giles's apartment where you like see a lady getting her mail and it's
Is
like an
this when
odd.
is this when Olivia sees the monster and she starts drawing it
No,
later?
no, no. It's earlier. It's before everyone loses their voices. Like
Okay.
Buffy and Willow are having like a walk and talk or
Okay.
something. And there's just like a long extended shot of like an extra getting her mail. And that's Marty Noxon.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to go back and check that out.
Yeah.
I know what scene you're talking about. That's cool. All right, so there's the witches. We met all them. We see catch up with Riley and Forrest.
That's right. Yeah, a little forest action in this episode, talking about chicks as always.
Yeah, but I liked it. He was like, actually, it was like the first time I liked Forrest. She was like, yeah, we have to like downplay how awesome we are. Like we can still get the chicks, but we can't even use like our coolest thing, which is like we hunt demons. Like then we
Right.
really get the ladies.
Yeah. He says, "Thank God we're pretty."
I did like, by the way, there's like they're setting up like a little later on when he can't use his voice, like he uses the voice thing. He's like Riley, whatever, and he goes down the thing, and then later he can't do it. I feel like we've seen him do that before, but they're setting it up again here. That
Yeah,
they
you need to see them use that elevator at the beginning of the episode so that you know what the process is supposed to be
yes,
when it goes wrong
and it
later.
was
Yeah.
so natural to see. There's so many like just short scenes in this episode, which I feel like I'd complain about, but I feel like all they were all pretty good. I liked all of
It
them.
really all adds up to something. Like I think Hush is in terms of writing and directing is as good as any movie.
But any movie ever?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I thought you were gonna say any Buffy episode.
No, like this is a special achievement in television. Like I majored in television in college and like we talked about this episode in like every class.
I love it. I don't want to spoil anything, but all right, we get to um. Oh, here we go. Spike is at Xander's house. Xander's going to sleep. Spike's laying there, and Spike sort of makes fun of Anya at one point. I didn't like that.
Well, I think he was
On
more
Spike.
making fun of Xander using Anya.
You think he? So you think? So you think Spike thinks Xander is using Anya?
No, I think Spike like mimics Anya in order to make fun of Xander.
I guess so, but it's also making fun of Anya. It's also
All
just being
right. Well,
annoying.
Spike doesn't really give a shit. He's happy to be annoying.
I guess so. I guess so. He and Xander like I
God,
expected
so
them.
protective of Anya.
I like Anya. Anya's one of my favorite characters. Not you?
No, same, but wow.
Okay. I expected a little more with Xander and Spike in this episode, but I'm not complaining because of all the other stuff we got. But when they were like, "All right, Xander, you've got Spike this episode," I was like, "Oh, this is the Xander Spike episode," but it's really not.
It's not really a Xander Spike episode. It's more introducing the idea that that when Giles needs privacy, Spike's gonna be with Xander.
Love it. That's good.
Yeah.
So we go back to Giles and Olivia. Olivia shows up. They talk for. She was watching a baseball movie. What movie do you think she was watching?
I'm gonna say, considering the year, she was watching For Love of the Game with Kevin Costner. Sam Raimi's For Love of the Game.
Wow. Do you think she liked it?
She clearly
She just
hated
watched
it.
the whole thing. What do you mean she hated it? She was late. She was watching it. She must have liked it.
No, but she said baseball movie as like being a negative for the flight. It's
Oh, it
funny.
was a
Sport.
flight. I thought she was at her
Yeah.
house and she just left
No,
late because she was so
Jesus
into the movie.
Christ. No.
So she
She
lived.
was
Where'd
on
she
a
live?
in England.
Oh shit! So he knew her from England.
Yeah, that's why like it's like a thing. Like she's gonna be in town for the weekend.
Oh, I completely didn't understand any of this.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I thought she was just like a friend from in town, but he's known her for a long time from England, and she flies to come see him. So that's pretty serious business.
Yeah, yeah. So she's in town. She watched For Love of the Game on the plane. And she just like me, I watched that Champions, Woody
Mm,
Harrelson in Champions last time I was on a plane.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I did like she says one line. She says, "No more small talk," and then they get to kissing, and then later on they can't even do small talk.
It's a
So here
good
we
point.
here
Yeah.
we go. We see Clock Tower. We see the villain of the episode, or I think we just see the box opening. Yeah, this is when all the voices get collected. So the
Yeah.
box opens, all the voices. You see all the little smoke come out of everybody's mouth or whatever. Um, so they wake up, they can't talk. This was hilarious. This was so funny. The phone rings. Xander calls, and Buffy answers,
Yeah.
and she can't say anything. And she's like, "What the heck? I can't say anything on the phone." And then Xander's like, "Oh shit! Why did I even call Buffy? I can't say anything."
Well, I before that even, I love the stuff before Buffy realizes she can't speak, because at first you see her wake up and she's just sort of like puttering around the dorm room. She goes to the bathroom and brushes her teeth, and you can like sort of slowly feel the impending doom of it. Like she has no idea anything's wrong, but like there's someone crying
Right.
in the
She walks past her in the hallway.
in the hall. Yeah, people are running around a little bit, and it's not until she like greets Willow good morning that like like at first like doesn't Willow think she's deaf?
Willow thinks that she's deaf. She thinks that she just can't hear Buffy.
If you read her lips, like Willow at one point says, "I'm deaf," and Buffy goes, "No, no, 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 I don't think
No, you
so."
moron. I can't talk.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I guess that would make just as much sense, I guess. But yeah, no, I enjoyed all of that. All that it was all done really well. And we see one part here. We see Riley put on a shirt. We see shirtless Riley, and then he grabs his
That's
shirt
true.
and puts it on. And
I got news for you. It's not the last time you'll see Riley
oh, great.
shirtless. Yeah.
I doubt that's his nightmare being shirtless.
Nah, 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 nah.
No way.
That's
His
his
is putting
time
on
to
a shirt.
shine, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we see the voice ID. He tries to say his name, doesn't work. And so Buffy and Willow, they're walking outside. They're walking around. They can't talk, and they see this guy. Genius idea. This guy's selling the whiteboards. I love this guy. Possible
Yeah,
MVP.
for $10 a piece.
I
Brilliant.
loved it. That was so good. So they buy some whiteboards and they go to Giles' house. And I thought this was a nice touch. They see on the news that it reminded me a lot of today, right? People were saying like it was the flu vaccine that's making them not be able to talk. That's like a side effect of a flu vaccine. I thought that was very
Yeah.
timely.
Did it make you think about how COVID was all just like a hoax to cover up something else?
Absolutely, it made me think that, and how everything just goes back. If anyone gets sick, it's like, well, do they get the vaccine? They're probably sick because they got the vaccine. Anytime someone dies, if you like check the Twitter replies, they're like, well, they probably got the vaccine. That's why they're
I
dead.
know.
It's
I know.
crazy. It's so
All
funny.
every liberal in America is like he died of COVID, clearly, and every Republican, no, it's because of the vaccine. It's very stupid. It's a very stupid country we live in and world, indeed. All right,
Yeah,
go for it.
we're all so smart. All right, we go. This was pretty funny. So we see we're like I think it's like Buffy's walking around again outside.
Wait, whiteboard. Go that is one of my favorite moments in the whole
Okay, what
episode.
happened?
I just like when they realize they can't. Willow like suddenly realizes that they can't greet each other, and so she just writes down "Hi Giles" on the
Yeah, she.
whiteboard.
I love that. Yeah, you're right because she was writing something and I was like, oh, she's got like something really serious to say. Like this is gonna be pretty good. She's got like a clue or something, and then she just says, "Hi, Giles."
Yeah,
I really liked that
he
moment.
gives her a hug, like, "Oh, I get you're sweet."
Oh, Willow. Yeah, that was really nice. Um, I liked this part where Buffy goes walking around outside and she like sees Riley like breaking up a fight or whatever. But
Yeah,
because the world has gone to shit now, there's just like a random car crashed into a fire hydrant. It's just like the
yeah.
people can't talk. Why would that happen? It doesn't make any sense.
I know. There's also like a dude like sitting crisscross applesauce. I was gonna say Indian style, you're not allowed to say it
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
But like
Native
legs
American style.
crossed, Native American style, in the middle of the road. And I'm like, what's that guy's morning been like? You haven't been able to speak for like 2 hours.
So
And
next
and you're
stop, sit in the
already
road.
just, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very. I thought that was very funny.
That
Uh,
guy's life went to shit fast.
So she sees Riley, and Riley starts like he
You know
breaks
what
up a
I was
fight.
I was thinking, I'm sorry, I was imagining his life in my head, this guy in the middle of the road. And
Mhm.
here's what I came up with while I was watching. I think that he cheated on his wife, okay? She found out that night, all right? And then it's the morning, he can't even defend himself.
He's just
He
staying
has
out.
I think he has a perfectly good explanation. Like he didn't actually cheat on her or something.
He doesn't know where the
And
whiteboard guy is.
oh man, he's got to find that whiteboard
Buffy should
guy.
point him in the right direction.
You're right. You're right, man. All right,
That
go.
that's pretty funny. So he's just like staying out. He's like, I can't even like confront the situation right now. I'm just gonna
He's
sit in the street.
like it's the most frustrating thing in the world. I could my wife fucking hates me and I can't speak right now and I could end this situation. We could be on great terms if only I can say like two sentences.
That's
And
never
he
how it goes. You never cheat on somebody and then like one sentence can fix it all.
no, I'm saying maybe he didn't cheat. He's
Oh,
just
okay.
been caught implicated.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
All
All right.
right, so Buffy sees Riley, they hug and they kiss because they can't talk to each other, so they
Yeah.
just smooch. So then we go here. This is where we see the demons come out. And
The gentleman.
yeah, it's really really scary. We see like the one of them floats, and then they have another one that like sort of walks around all creepy. Are
Well,
they're
they
like a
all
team,
float. The ones in the suits with the metal teeth,
but then they
they
have like a
all float.
sidekicks.
Yeah, but then they have these like henchmen in straitjackets, just sort of like roaming around.
It's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
really cool. It reminded me of like a Mike Flanagan invention. He does like floating type monsters. I feel like all the
true.
time. Um, Felt like one of those. But it was very cool. They looked scary, but they were also kind of funny. I liked one part where it's later on when they take the heart out of that guy and they all like applaud him. They're like, "Good job, guy!
Yeah,
You took the heart." It's like they're really scary, but they're
yeah, and he
I
makes
don't
a like sort of a hand motion, like, "Oh, you're too kind."
know. Yeah, they're like they're pretty fascinating creatures.
You know who the main gentleman was played by?
No, is that a guy
How
we've seen?
about how about the Shape of Water's Doug Jones?
Wow, that's very cool. He's also
Yeah,
in Hocus Pocus.
and Hellboy.
Yeah, he's on like everything. Oh, that's very
Yeah,
cool.
but
I didn't notice that.
yeah, he that's him. And the like second main gentleman is played by this fellow Camden Toy, who comes back in season 7 as like two more Buffy demons, just like in different makeup,
In the same episode or different episodes?
different episodes.
Yeah, I guess. All right, that's cool. Camden boy? What?
Camden Toy.
Toy. Okay. I'm not your boy toy. All right, so we see these guys, and Olivia sees one out the window. She draws a picture of it. They steal the heart from a guy. And then the best scene of the episode. You ready?
That scene is so scary when they steal the heart. The way he just like answers the door and they're just outside the door. Like,
Yeah.
ah, it's the worst possible thing you could see when you open your door.
No, you're right. Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
The projector scene. One of the
Oh, go ahead.
You sound so excited. Well, I had a question first of all. How did Giles get in the classroom?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, but I assume Buffy broke into it for them.
Okay. All right, but we're in a classroom. Giles is doing like a presentation for everybody, showing them all what they do. Um, I mean, do we want to bring up like every great moment that's in this
This
scene?
is one of the best scenes in Buffy history.
I agree. I loved it so much. Um, they all right, first of all, we'll start off. They Giles has it backwards. He has it in the thing backwards, so it's like projecting reverse or whatever. And so they're all like, oh, like I mean, I can't do it because I have to talk. But like I loved Anya specifically, how Anya's little hand motion, like
Yeah.
turn it around.
Yeah, she does
So
it just
good.
sort of bored, like, all right. And she's eating popcorn while she does it.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And then another part we see Giles is like, all right, so what do the demons want? And Willow is like, she points to her heart. She's like, got it, they want the heart. And Xander's like, boobies. He's like thinks she's talking about boobies. Another great part. And then they're like, all right, how do we kill them? And Buffy starts doing like a stab motion, but it looks like she's like trying to
Jerking
jack off the
off.
demons. And then they're like,
Yeah.
whoa, Buffy. And then she pulls out her stake to like really let us know she's stabbing them. That was
Yeah.
another great part. Um, I sort of had a question about how they kill them because he said like it had to be a real human the screaming, but isn't
Yeah.
music a real human? Like that really wouldn't work.
It's recorded.
So that doesn't work.
Yeah, it has to be like a live person.
Well, I think he should have said that word live. He just says like real human. I feel like
All right. I
real.
got it.
I feel like he should have specified a little bit more. Um, and then at the end, Buffy gets offended that the drawing of Buffy is a little not to her standard. I feel like right.
Yeah, supposedly the reaction was improvised by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
That's cute.
Yeah.
But like every part of this scene, I thought was there anything we missed?
I mean, just Giles's drawings on the projector, like the
Yeah,
gruesome using like red Sharpie for like the blood and the hearts and shit. I think it's so good. And yeah, I mean that scene I think is just a fucking masterpiece.
yeah,
Like
me too.
all the actors, all the writing, like the little score that he puts on, like
Hmm.
Giles just decides to play some like classical music during the scene. It's gorgeous.
The music in this whole episode, I thought that was really good, especially
Those
and like, the action later on. There's put some good
yeah.
music in.
Christoph, I think this is one of Christoph Beck's best episodes of the series. The score is amazing. Um, it's I used to have like a 8 minute like suite of themes from this episode, just like downloaded
Wow,
on like
what a
Kazaa or
nerd.
Napster, whatever. And I used to fucking jam out to it, dude.
That's cool.
It
I
would get
like
to the part where like Buffy and Riley kiss in the street, and I would swoon a little bit.
that. You knew what that sounded like?
Yeah, I remembered what that particular moment.
That's cool. All right, so we go to all right, here we go. Like a lot of action sort of happens toward the end of the episode. We see Riley. He is out there again, not wearing his helmet, of course, and
Oh,
he goes
because we see Walsh like debrief them. Uh
right. She let him out of
using
that elevator. They got stuck. Walsh had to let him out. Remember?
yeah, and points to that sign like in
Go
case
down
of
the stairs, you
emergency, use
moron.
stairs. Yeah. But she gives them that debriefing using the robot voice from Fit or Happier by Radiohead.
Oh wow, I had
Yeah.
no idea. What do you mean? That's not just like a normal thing. That's specifically from that.
No, it's just a normal thing, but that's the first time I ever encountered it, so that's how I think of it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, she doesn't really tell him that much. She just says like, "Hey, like, keep everybody safe," basically, right?
Yeah, there will be chaos, like that sort of shit.
Yeah. But all right, so there we go. So Riley goes out. He goes to the clock tower, and Buffy starts fighting a few guys, and she ends up in the clock tower too. They end up in the same vicinity as each other. Buffy, cool Buffy moment. She snaps a guy's neck. Always like when that happens. Riley has a cool gun, cool like
He does.
electrocution gun, like
Yeah.
pretty cool. I liked it. And it gets to a point where they pull their weapons out on each other, and then it goes to a commercial. That was a
Yeah.
cool moment.
Great
Uh,
cut to commercial.
yeah, really. I feel like they had a lot of those in this episode. A lot of great cuts to commercial. We see Willow. Oh, the girl Tara. She starts like going around banging on doors. Right? She's looking for Willow.
Yeah, you see her look up Willow's like information in like the college directory at first. Like you
Right.
see her Tara actually in her dorm room. And then she goes out looking for Willow. There's that really scary shot where she's just like sort of like on the street, like trying to figure out which way to go. And you see the gentleman like appear out of
Loved
focus
that.
behind her.
That was so cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that was sick. That I love that moment. So yeah, so she runs around, she's banging on a bunch of doors, and she eventually gets to Willow's room, and I actually had kind of a question. Are they in Willow's room in this moment? I feel like they move a vending machine. Does Willow have a vending machine in her bedroom?
no. Willow opens the door to her room, steps outside, Anya's running.
Oh yeah,
Anya,
she
I mean
hurts her
Tara
leg.
is running away from the gentleman and runs into Willow,
You're right.
and they get in front of the dorm room door before they can get back in, and so they run away down the stairwell.
Yes, that's right. Because Willow later on is like grabbing her leg. She hurt her leg in that moment, or her ankle or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So they
By the
they
way,
try.
that vending machine is the same vending machine as in Sunnydale High School. So I don't know what's going on in this town with vending machines.
I was about to say you was well because we've seen what was that guy's name who's gay? We saw him at a bunch of vending machines.
Larry.
Larry, remember Larry was at a vending machine? I was thinking, is
Yeah,
this the same vending machine?
and they never get the right soda that they order.
Right. Was this was the same one?
Yep, same one.
Wow. Like the same prop vending machine from the set,
I
you mean?
I believe it was
Like
the
how do you
same
know that?
prop. Yeah.
Wow.
I just recognized the grape logo.
Wow. That's amazing. All right, yeah, so they try to move the vending machine, like Willow tries to do it by herself, but she can't do it. But together they're strong enough to by move, I mean they're doing it with their mind. They're like witch moving it, not just like pushing it like with
Hmm.
strength. They're like telekinetic powers or whatever. They move the vending machine in front of the door. Pretty cool. And Willow is gay now, right? I mean, like I feel like we're starting to lay that. I mean, not gay, maybe, but we're gonna explore that probably.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Joss Whedon has said like he thinks the moment where they move the vending machines is one of their most romantic moments in Buffy history.
Wow. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Um,
Um,
I this is like on everyone's list of favorite episodes. I think it's Allison Hannigan's number one favorite, and then like if you look at anytime like any of the cast or Whedon or the writers are asked like what are the best episodes, they all say this one.
I love it. I don't disagree. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Um, so that yeah, they move that or whatever. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so Xander goes back to Giles' house, and Spike is wait, why is Spike back at Giles' house instead of Xander's house?
Well, I guess they've all just like reconvened. Like it's not like Giles
Oh,
is
yeah,
even
it's just
getting down.
I guess so. So they're all back at Giles' house, and Xander shows up, and he sees Anya laying there, and he sees Spike as a vampire. He has vampire face, and so
Because Spike took a sip of blood
right
from a
from
mug and it turned him into a vampire face.
not the
It
Jenny
was so
Calendar mug. I didn't
delicious.
think was it. Seemed like
I
a
don't
different
think
mug.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's a vampire, and Xander thinks that he might have bit Anya. So he goes in there and he fights Spike, and Anya wakes up, and Anya's like, "Oh, you saved me, Xander. That's so sweet." And well, she can't talk at all, but they let hug and kiss or whatever, and then she does the little sex hand motion, like the
Yeah, a little
finger
finger through
inside
the
the.
hole.
So funny, so it's
Yeah.
just so good. So that's where they go. They go to have sex. Back to Riley and Buffy.
I was wondered whether they go have sex in Giles's house.
Well, yeah, I kind of assume so. I didn't even. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think they left. I feel like they went to the bathroom or
Giles
something.
just okay with that?
Probably not, but what are you gonna do? Uh, well, I guess you could kick them out. All right, so we go to Riley and Buffy, and but they here is one moment. I'm not gonna nitpick. I'm not gonna nitpick. I promise. I mean, I am. I guess I am right now. But I feel like they've done this moment kind of a few times now, and I don't know if we needed it this episode, where Riley goes to break the box, and he does like a comedy moment where he breaks
Oh
something
yeah.
else. And if we were gonna change one thing about this episode, it might be just that one moment, like just let him crush the box, because I feel like we've had that a lot this season, where it's like a funny thing toward the end of the episode where we're like, oh, gotcha, and I feel like this episode was funny enough that didn't specifically land for me, but whatever. Riley smashes the box, everybody gets their voices back, and Buffy lets out a big scream, and they all die.
Yeah, their heads
All
explode gruesomely
yeah,
into
oh yeah,
like
that is pretty good. It is
yellow
awesome.
muck.
Yeah, it's cool. All of their heads explode, and so they're all safe. By the way, I wrote Buffy Scream twos instead of Buffy Screams because she wasn't in Scream. She was in Scream 2.
That's
Buffy
right.
Scream twos.
Cece.
C right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Omega Beta Zeta.
and so we see we go to Olivia and Giles. They're cuddling, and Giles is talking to Olivia. Olivia's like, "Man, I didn't know you were like serious about hunting all these demons. I thought that was a joke. And Giles is like, well, I sort of like said it to be like a little pretentious, but no, I was serious. And he asks her, he's like, is this too much for you? And she's like, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. So Olivia might be sticking around for a while. We'll find out if it's too much for Olivia.
Yeah.
So so there we go there. And great ending. Another great ending. I'm not sure if it's top five worthy, but it's a great one. Riley shows up to Buffy's dorm room and he says, "Hey, we have to talk." And she's like, "Yep, I guess we have to talk." So they sit down, and as soon as I knew exactly how they were going to end this in this episode, they showed Riley, and I was like, "All right, so shot of Riley, shot of Buffy, wide shot in the episode," and that's exactly what they do. You know what it reminded me of? Happiness, the scene in Happiness where he's like, where the kid's like, "Would you have sex with me?" And
Yeah.
it's like it shows like him, and then
I'd
it
have
shows Dylan
jerked off.
Baker, and then it shows the wide shot of them on the couch. It reminded me just of that.
Apparently, he wanted to end it on a close up, but everybody was telling him like because like it would have been less expected than the wide shot,
Close
but
up of what?
like he wanted to do like close up of Riley, close up of Buffy, wide shot, back to a close up of Riley, or back to a close up of Buffy end.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, but everyone was like, just end on the wide shot. It's better that way.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I love things like that makes you feel like you're just sitting in the awkward with them. I
Yeah.
love that type of stuff.
Especially
Uh,
after this episode where like it's like everything could be solved if we could just use our communication skills, and now like they're finally able to communicate and they're just sitting in silence. Brilliant.
yeah, I loved it. So there we are. I thought that this episode ruled. I thought it was hilarious. I thought that it was scary. I thought that it forwarded basically everybody. We're getting the Riley and Buffy stuff. Giles has a girlfriend. Uh, Willow is gay finally, we're leading toward
By
that.
the way, this is one of the episodes, one of the two episodes we see them watch in New Mutants.
Oh, they did watch this episode?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's
You see
crazy.
the gentleman in a few shots of New Mutants.
Holy shit, that is awesome. That is really cool. And I guess I won't ask the other one. I didn't even notice if this was the girl from New Mutants from that scene with Willow. I didn't
Yeah.
even notice that. So there's still a lot that I don't know. And but yeah, no, I really just I love this episode. I thought it was great. I'm gonna give it a 4 because I don't give fives yet, but
That's insane. This is a
all right.
five.
You know, you're right. You're right. This was probably the first time where I left feeling like this was a 5. Like there's nothing that I would have changed. I thought that it forwarded everything while introducing new stuff. While not a lot of the other episodes are like they usually pick a lane. They're like this is a revenge episode. This is a funny episode. This is a scary one. This is like one more about her family. Like this sort of like they did everything. I felt like.
This
Um,
is the kind of episode where, like, if someone was like, "Show me what Buffy's like," this is the episode you show them.
Right. Well, I'd show them which because I don't want them to know like two like get two and like here they probably be confused.
Fair enough.
Which is like episode 3, so it's perfect. They love it. All right, but my MVP, I'm gonna go with Buffy. I'm sorry. She gets to let out that scream at the end. Everyone else is just silent. But I thought about going Anya. I thought Anya was hilarious this episode.
Yeah, I kind of love Spike in this episode too. Although I guess I get what you mean, making fun of Anya.
That's okay.
But and Willow with the high Giles. Everyone's so good in this episode.
You're right.
Um, I also love Giles.
But Buffy gets to scream. She like gets the one moment.
We'll go with Buffy, but I'll give a shout out to just Joss Whedon. I think it's a powerhouse episode.
Yeah.
It's the only episode of Buffy to be nominated for an Emmy for writing.
Really? The only one?
Which Yeah, which is interesting because like it doesn't have as much dialogue as usual Buffy episodes. That was like
That's awesome.
Whedon's like influence to write this episode was he was getting so known for his dialogue. Like anytime people wrote reviews of Buffy, that's what they would talk about was the
Hmm.
dialogue. And so he was like, let me see if I could write a really great Buffy episode where I don't use dialogue.
Well, that's awesome. Makes me like the episode even more, and especially because you can see the Whedon dialogue even when they're not talking, even like through the gestures and everything. Like
Yeah,
it's so Whedon.
his
Uh,
tone is so recognizable.
no, truly, it's like one of the most specific um people out there. I feel like um that's really awesome. I did we go LVP?
Oh,
I guess I'll go
hmm.
Forest.
I'll go with one of those girls at the meeting, the witch meeting.
Who? Anyone specific?
I like one more than the other. I'll go with that skinny redhead one.
I don't even remember. You
Yeah.
said they don't show back up, or we don't really learn their names or anything. They're not that big.
Yeah, you might see them one more time, but yeah, they're not really important.
Okay, well, I'll just go Forest. I don't really know who else to go with. I didn't think he was bad here, but I don't know. All right. So ranking the episode, I I again I said I moved them all around. I think I'm just gonna put this at the very top.
Yeah. What's
Because
my number one?
well, because even my old number one was becoming part two. And it's like this episode, like from start to finish, is better than any part two episode, right? That just seems silly to have a part two over this when this I thought nailed it in every aspect.
I
So
agree.
so that's my number one. Your previous number one was the same as mine, becoming part two.
Yeah, all right, pop it at number one.
Love it. Wow. So our new number one. Let us know, guys, if this is your new. By the way, IMDb agrees. This is their highest one so far.
Yes.
9.7.
Yeah, that's wild. I think on my original list, like when I was making lists, I had this after the entire series was over, ranked number three.
And you had episodes after this ahead of it, or episodes before this ahead of it.
Episode they were both after this.
That's exciting. Okay. Um, all right. So is that it? Is that all on Hush? I was right, by the way. I knew that they would lose their voice. Like it's
Yeah,
pretty
you
obvious.
called that part. Yeah, Hush, man. What a classic. There's not enough you could ever say about this episode. Great.
We said too much. We should have said nothing at all.
Good point, man.
So there's Hush. Angel time.